Afternoon and welcome. I'm delighted you've joined me. And I can only tell you in December today, December the 13th, Friday the 13th, unlucky for some, lucky for others. I'm buying today for sure a lottery card and see if I can win with a few bob. I'm talking to you from my terrace here in Marbella, or to be precise, in Benahavis. If you don't know where Benahavis is, in front of me is San Pedro. I'm looking down on San Pedro. The panoramic sea view, blue seas of the Mediterranean to the right, is Estepona. Tough life. The subject of my interview today is vasectomy. Yeah, I know a lot of men find it embarrassing maybe to talk about a vasectomy, but not me. Now, let me just tell you the story. We've been married, myself and my wife been married for about 40 plus years. But very early on our marriage, before we had one or two, I can't remember, two children, let's say. Wendy had a problem with the pill, the birth control pill. She had to come off it. And, you know, we had to go on with our usual contest. Well, I won't go into it. A few years later, well, a good few years later, I'm visiting Dublin. My mother is a doctor, a gynecologist. My father is a doctor, a general practitioner. Anyway, I'm having dinner with my mother in Dublin, and I brought up the subject of vasectomy. I just by chatting, and she said, "Yeah, well, why are you asking?" And I told my mum. She knew about Wendy and the pill and the birth problem, and she said, "Okay, one moment." And this is absolutely as it happened. Right in front of my mother, there's always a telephone. She picked up the phone, and this is her on the phone. She has like a doctor's voice. She has the normal voice at home, and then the doctor's voice on the phone. So she picks up and she says, "Oh, hello, Norman. Hazel here." That was her name. "Hazel here. Are you in surgery in the morning?" "Oh, good. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Yes, Stanley's fine." That's my father. "Yes. Look, I was just wondering, my son is here visiting, short visit from Marbella where he lives, and he needs a vasectomy. Are you in surgery? Is it possible to fit him in the morning?" Good. And I'm sitting there, "No, Mum, no, not now. My mother's going like this. "Shh. Yes, wonderful. Yes, 8:30, perfect. No, he won't have breakfast. Yes, he will. Yes, okay. I know about that. Thanks, Norman. Bye." "What have you done, Mum?" Or Mummy, as I used to call her. "What have you done?" She said, "Oh, shut up, will you? You need it. I understand why you need it. It's very important that you have it. You're here now. It's be done tomorrow morning. I want to hear no more." Oh my God, I wanted the time to tell everyone I'm about. Do you know something? At that stage, I'd never, ever had an operation of any sort. And I'm such a coward. I used to have to be put asleep to have my teeth cleaned. You know, honestly, I'm in deep panic. Okay, my mum said, the other thing is you've got to bring your sister Vanessa with you. Why? Because in Ireland there's a few hospitals, Catholic country, won't do vasectomy, and she will have to pose as your wife, because you're going to have to sign a form and your wife has to give permission as well. That's what Norman told me just now on the phone. So there you are. You'll have it done tomorrow. It'll take a few minutes. It'll all be over. Well, I think I could sleep that night. Oh, God. My sister picked me up the next morning. She couldn't stop laughing the whole way in the car. I said, "Vanessa, would you ever shut up? I'm panicking here. I've never... Are they going to give me gas?" She said, "No, don't worry. It'll be over in minutes. Don't worry." And I said, "Well, what do you know about this?" And this is the sort of the conversation. Anyway, we get to the hospital. I am shaking like a leaf. We go into the office there and we had to sign some forms. And then they took me, followed by my sister, up to a ward, not to a private room because you're not staying in overnight. They brought me to a ward. And I think there was, let's say, a dozen people in the ward. Some of them looked like they were dying. Anyway, I was there chatting to myself. I didn't know, I was just so nervous. The next minute, a nurse came up and she pulled the curtain around me and she said, "We're going to shave your husband now. Do you want to stay?" And my sister said, No, I don't want to stay. Thank you very much. No. Anyway, out she shot and they did the job. She pulled the curtain back. It was about 2 minutes or 3 minutes later. A porter came in. "Mr. Boland for the snip." Mr. Boland for the snip, Mr. Boland. Oh, there you are. And he goes over to me. Well, my sister, I thought she was going to collapse laughing. And people in the ward looked very amused, even those that looked like they were dying. But as he pushes me in the bed, I don't have to get out of the bed. The bed's going to go down to the theatre. They put it in the lift. As he's pushing me, singing, brown girl in the ring, tra-la-la-la-la. And he's getting everyone on the board, brown girl in. And I go, good luck, Morris, good luck. Jeez, I might never come back. Brown girl and my sister. They were in bits. So anyway, they bring me down and they go down, down, down the lift, shaking like a leaf. I was lying there with about 4 other people. There was a couple of different operating theatres, so I assumed they were for different operations. The next minute, the anaesthetist come in, the friend of mine. How he has his hat and coat on. How are you, Morris? You all right? How's your mother? Yeah, and your father? They good. He's taking his hat and coat and getting scrubbed up in there. Yeah, you're fine there, Morris. Fine. We'll be with you in a minute. And I go, oh, what are you going to give me gas? Well, no, don't worry about that. We'll deal with all that in a minute. And then he comes over to me. He said, I'm going to give you a shot now on your arm. I said, what's that for? He said, that'll sedate you. Don't you worry about anything. So he gives me the shot. I said, well, I count backwards. He said, you can do it. Oh. I was gone in a second. All I knew the next thing was waking up in the ward again, my sister there. I felt a little painful, I must tell you. But anyway, it was all over and done with. And believe it or not, that night I was flying back to Malaga. Now, I want to tell any of you men who are listening to this out here, or any of you wives who want to persuade your men, honestly, I mean, sometimes it's done as a local. It's done in a doctor's room or something. It's that simple. It's that simple. Honestly, God, it changed my life and my wife's life totally from that. I promise you, if you are worried about it in any way whatsoever, you can possibly speak to a doctor first or speak to someone. I promise you, you'll feel zero. It's a little painful afterwards, like all operations, I suppose are. I was so proud I had, and so brave, I thought, to have this vasectomy. When I was sitting in Dublin Airport, there was some guy sitting beside me, and I started telling him about my vasectomy. I get aboard the plane. I even mentioned to the hostess about my vasectomy. Oh, God, when I think about it. I was so glad it was over. But there you are. No problems, no after effects, nothing at all. So please have it. Thanks for joining me here today. And I hope you'll enjoy my little chats and join me again. Thanks once more and have a wonderful, safe and special day. And if you're listening to this on a Friday, have a great weekend.